Welcome to Working on a Dime, a fun little show with Dungeons on a Dime, where I, Brian, who run Dungeons on a Dime, invite a lovely artist to come and draw stuff with me and hang out and vibe and stuff. So I'm Brian, I run Dungeons on a Dime, my pronouns are he, him, and yeah, I need coffee. Joining me today is Fraser. Fraser, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Fraser. I go by Lost Astronaut on most things, on Instagram, Twitter, etc. I'm a freelance illustrator, and I have been working alongside Brian and Dungeons on a Dime for probably going to be like a year now.
Yeah, or over a year, I
Almost
feel.
a
Because
year.
we first worked on. No, it's a year, because it was May
Yes.
last
Oh,
year
it's
that
our
we
1 year
did Blood in the
anniversary.
Water.
Yeah, it's our 1 year anniversary of working together. That's cute.
Oh,
Um,
baby.
but yeah, I am a freelance illustrator, as I said. My pronouns are also he, him. And yeah, we're just going to be doing some doodling and working on some stuff.
Yeet.
Is
Oh,
my... Oh, I think my thing might have frozen.
there
That's
is
not.
a. Interestingly, there is a button that just says live. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Yes, faces.
Yes. Have I
Oh,
made it?
honestly.
Okay. Okay, I see.
You were
Right.
telling me before we started, and I very rudely interrupted you by saying, "Hey, we should do a stream." About this awesome D&D game you did last night.
Yes. Well, I'm troubleshooting. Okay, that works now. I
Mm.
can't minimize it. It doesn't work. Got it. Yeah, it was like we usually play on Thursdays.
Working on a
And we have this like group called World's End. It's like a group where you bring your character along to the town of World's End, and you become part of the Adventurers League or Adventurers. Is it League or Association? Something like that.
Adventures League is like the 5th edition version of
Something
like the standardized play rules world place thing. People.
Yeah, it's a little bit like homebrewy, but it's fun.
Mm.
But so what was that? I completely lost track. Yeah, so you can join World character and just they post up these adventures that like the Adventurers Guild, that's it. And they'll post up like we need someone to go and see what's in the forest or what's going on. But this one was kind of like quite a kind of spooky, lore heavy one, so it ran over from Thursday, and he's like, "Well, probably have to do another one." So we just did it yesterday, straight away, like the next evening, and we went on from like about 5:30, 6 o'clock till like midnight, past midnight, and it was so good. It was so good. We ended up playing like this weird like Hydra. It was kind of like a Cthulhu, weird fish limb Hydra thing. It was spooky, cool. It was like a very cool like kind of cosmic horror setting. With people in this town and like spooky but fun.
We love a cosmic horror. It is definitely something that we enjoy. Speaking of cosmic horror, I've been thinking about Dungeons on a Dime as a brand, right?
Okay.
And how it might be easier to like push it up a level to like role playing on a dime as like the company, and then that leaves up like the some like 2-syllable something on a dime. Because then you can have like steampunk on a dime, you can have eldritch on a dime, you can have spaceships on a dime, like that narrative beat. Same with dungeons and adventures and stuff. Yeah. But also, I really don't want to have to deal with migrating all of my stuff to a new email address.
Yeah, that would be a pain. I've been thinking about readjusting like my domain for my website and stuff as well, and it's such a headache.
What would you change your domain to? Would you keep the Lost Astronaut vibe?
Well, yeah, I think so. It's kind of weird because like lostastronaut.com is already taken by like this game. Well, I say game, like it's like an indie game studio, but they haven't produced anything or changed the website in like years. So I'm kind of stuck with .co.uk, and I'm kind of like the way I got it set up is very strange, and like it's I just need to kind of do a little bit of fiddling about with it.
Fair.
Okay. I just blame Fraser Robertson also and have him kind of go together.
Because that's something that was advised a lot in my illustration course, was you can never go wrong with your name. Because even if there's people with the same name, like it's not as a, how to phrase it, like it's not a brand infringement, or no one's going to be like, oh, did they copy that name? Because you don't really copy your own name from someone else.
Yeah, like it is what it is. That's fair.
And
I feel like try that.
Sorry, you're gonna say?
Yeah, I guess with my name as well, it's like, do I just go for Fraser Robertson, or because then there's like two R's next to each other that kind of look a bit weird, like aesthetically as a name, which I'm not a fan. So I could do like Fraser J Robertson, FJ Robertson. There's just Fraser Jr. And it looks like Fraser Jr. There's no like winning. A weird one.
You could do Lost Robertson.
Lost Robertson. Because originally I was debating between Lost and Last.
Ooh.
Like the Last Astronaut.
Yeah, like Last Robertson.
The Last Robertson, but I feel like that's... Yeah, I don't know how that would fly.
Just be like, I'm the end of the line.
I'm
Family, I'll take care of them.
Sorry about it, guys. Yeah, we'll see. I need to do a little bit of rebranding, I think. But I think I'm going to stick with Lost Astronaut for sure, but it's more just...
The most important thing is if you're going to do a rebrand and you're going to have to put that effort in, make sure that the Twitter, the Instagram, the domain, the Facebook page, and the YouTube, all of those are free. And the Google, like the at Gmail. Make sure that it's consistent across all of those, because ultimately, even if you're not going to use it like that, there are people who would in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Either unknowingly or aggressively. Case in point, Roll20, right? So their account is Roll20 app. And for a while, they didn't actually have access to the Roll20 account, because even though they had existed before the Roll20 Twitter account, a bot owned it.
A bot, sorry? A bot.
A bot had just claimed it and was spamming random stuff. And so they were able to get it back, but it was a bunch of ache, and now all of their followers are at Roll20 app as opposed to at Roll20. So
yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I thought you said it was a bar for a second, and I was like, oh my interesting. God. D&D bar?
I mean, yes. Hit me up.
I'm definitely into it. That's huge, Kane. That's not how this works. Scale? Proportion? We don't know her.
I mean, you don't know who this person is. They could be with someone else's cane. It could be appropriate for the person it was made for.
Sure, yeah.
Oh my god, could you imagine like a gnome getting like some weeboo's sword cane and then being like, this is a great sword?
Yes. Oh, I keep thinking, I'm so excited for my character. The game that we played last night, because he leveled up. And I'm so obsessed with him.
So tell me more about this game. Tell me what was going on.
Oh, it was wild. There was just like, we kind of started off in this. We started off in World's End, and all of our characters, like every week, you play the game, and it's kind of like starts off. What have you done in your downtime, like through the previous week between games, or longer if you're jumping between different characters? I've got 2 at the moment, and each week you can sign up with either any of your characters. The missions are advertised, so you kind of do your little like downtime stuff, but we all had a dream collectively, even like the elves who don't sleep fell asleep. They were like freaked out. Yeah, so there's a elven monk, Sten, who like is very like kind of stern, kind of edgelord, but very cool.
Stern edgelord, but he's okay.
He's all right. He's fine. Yeah, he was like super freaked out by it because like I don't sleep. What is going on? And like there was this weird like kind of guy cutting about like World's End and like asking for us very specifically, even though we'd never met them. And so the Adventurers Guild kind of trapped him in caught him and kind of kept hold of him until they got in contact with us to be like, look, this guy's looking for you, like what's going on? And he like had these kind of weird features. He was a bit kind of like shimmery and like generally wet looking.
Oh my god, I love that's great. Yeah, this guy was looking for you. He was really glittery, like suspicious much.
But glittery. Distinctly like wet. And like
wet boy.
Weird like the way that the DM was describing everything like was really good, because it wasn't like he's a fish man. It was just like gently hinting at things, and then you're like, okay, this guy's turning into a fish. So there's that.
Maybe it was raining. You can't judge.
He was inside. But like, yeah. So then he was like, yeah, we got to go to this like weird town. Things are going on. And he had a really creepy voice like, oh, you've got to come, the ascension is near.
Oh,
You're like, oh, it's spooky. I'm really not doing the DM Scott a service here because I'm just like taking the piss of like, ooh, spooky. But
I mean, to be fair, I've been there and I've done that voice, and people have been legitimately afraid. They're like, "Oh no, an omen!" And I'm like, "Oh, I guess it is now."
It had very much like salad finger vibes, which is
not... oh, that is creepy. Ugh.
Yeah. So we ended up teleporting to this town. The goblins that run the Adventurers Guild teleported us close by to this town. And as we got there, like we kind of tied up the guy because we didn't really trust him. And as we got teleported there, he like disappeared, and like the rope wasn't anywhere to be seen. So like it just completely, like we were all like one group holding on to each other, and we were all separated out. It was really strange. Then just through this kind of weird swampy bog forest thing, there was all these guys just like staring up at the sky and doing the salad finger voice.
Oh, love it. That's great. That's so lovely for you.
Yeah, really like that. What kind of went down? Yeah, tentacles exploded out of their body and they started attacking us. My character went down in like the first second.
Oh wow!
Even though he is like a level 5, he is just so squishy. He's a Sorlock. He's just super squishy.
A Warlock?
A Sorlock.
Sorlock, yeah. Well, I mean, like, he has D6s and D8s, but even then, like, damn. At level 5, you should be able to take, like, a solid hit at the beginning and be okay for a bit. Be like, Ryan, oh god, Armor Vagathis, run away, cry.
Ryan, I wish I could say that was the case, but no. But to be fair, the DM, like, when he saw us all getting hit really hard, and I went down in the first, like, seconds, like, oh, these custom guys are probably a little bit too strong. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. Please have some what's the word? Mercy on us. Then we had to kind of go investigate the town after we got rid of those guys, and I got healed. And it was just a lot of kind of like point and click adventure-y kind of look at this thing, what's going on here? Look at this thing, what's going on here?
Click on this thing. Ooh, drama, but you don't have enough. You haven't gotten the key to the gym to be able to go inside and see the mysterious thing.
Literally that. So yeah, it was really good, and it ended up like all these little hints of like we had to keep doing saving throws when we encounter kind of strange things, and if you fail, we kind of bring up these memories. He'd asked all of our characters individually what was their greatest fear, like what was the thing that really scared them the most, and so like we're all learning bits about our characters. So like you don't always hear the backstories because they're very much just like one-off adventures. You just kind of talk with a group, meet together, go and do the thing, come back, get the gold, you're done. So it was really nice doing that. Yeah, it was good. It was a really, really good game. It went on for ages, but just because like the DM did not want to rush anything, he worked super hard.
No, I have been there.
Yeah, and it really showed he'd really done like an amazing job. We were all thoroughly creeped out. One of the NPCs had like a goblin shark mouth. And like by that point, it just was not subtle at all. Like one guy was like in a suit. Well, was it a suit? It wasn't a suit. One of the players made like that like a business fish meme.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Like they made that link, and I just can't not see that now. But one of the guys just had like a straight up like carp head. So.
I was playing a game for the Chimera Festival. Video on the YouTube channel, by the way. And one of the characters was Gilberto Gil, and his ordeal was that he was a fishman who had been dredged up from the bottom of the ocean by fishermen who had no idea if they could eat him because he was vaguely human-shaped, so they kept him as a mascot instead for their fishmonger store, which was obviously very traumatic for him. But he escaped and then was trying to go find this ancient fish civilization as part of the adventure. He didn't want anyone to know he was a fish, so he dressed up as a person, and he was working with a cat person who had really bad eyesight, so just didn't ever clock that he was a fish.
Oh, I love that.
So,
those are like my favorite things with some characters. Is like they just have this like stupid detrimental thing that it shouldn't work in the game. You just break everything, but like it's just quite fun. One of my pals has a character called Nana Peg. Yeah. And Katie, if you're here watching, Katie Gillen, she did some of the bookmarks.
Oh, hey! Yeah. Bookmarks, which have been rescued from the BHP offices. Literally, just before COVID hit, they got delivered. I was like, oh, finally, we got some progress. It's going to be really good. And then announcement comes over email like, oh yeah, so the CCA is closed until we tell you when.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. So I don't play in this game, but I have heard many tales of this because it's some of my close friends that run it, and they all live quite close together, so they just kind of play every so often. Nanapeg is an old blind gnomish lady, I believe.
Ooh.
Doesn't have any legs. They're both replaced with a peg, two pegs, hence Nanapeg legs. Yeah, and she's blind as a bat, but she's a druid. So when she wants to transform into things, doing the druid's
wild shape,
that's it. The DMs make her. I think did they roll like it's like odds or evens or something. And like odds or evens, like you've either seen it or you haven't seen it, and like you can recall what it feels like, but not like what it actually is.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a spider once, and she rolled the wrong thing. I was like, well, you turned into a crab. It's got more or less the same thing, and you think it's about right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, there is a hello from Jenny in the chat. Hello, Jenny. Hope you're doing okay.
Hello, Jenny. I'm just going to put on the do not disturb because I keep forgetting the messages will come up.
Yes. We never actually announced the really exciting, fantastic news that we have.
Right now?
You and I, the thing.
Oh yeah.
So this is the first. This is the first time I'm actually announcing it publicly. But Dungeons on a Dime has something of an official partnership with Roll20. So the Adventures on a Dime rule set is going to be hosted on the website. It's going to have its own section, and it's going to be super easy to reference and use in your games, along with the official character sheet, which is going to be super easy and super fun and cool. I have a live game that I'll be playing every Wednesday called Beast Fables, which I'll be playing with two of my friends there in Atlanta, and we've got 2 previous games on the channel already of us world building, and we have the first game next week. But that's actually going to be a sponsored Roll20 live show, which is going to be sick. And I'm going to be doing map packs and minis with artists from Dungeons & Time, like the lovely, I'm pointing in the right direction, like the lovely Fraser, because they want to get more queer and accessible tokens and maps and content on their website, and they want to feature Dungeons & Time and everything that the publisher stands for. So, yeah, Fraser, today I presume you're working on some cool minis for the project.
Yes, I am trying to get some little sketches done. I'm not good at talking and drawing, so we'll see how this goes.
I mean, I think we're doing okay.
We're doing fine. I'm getting some little sketches done.
Yeah.
But yeah, all good in the hood.
And I'm doing Patreon work because I have neglected getting this done earlier in the month like I normally do, because I've been negotiating contracts and things with Roll20, which are now all signed, so I feel like it's okay for me to say that this is happening.
Yeah, well, that's good. Good. Yeah, we saw the good stuff's out the way, hopefully.
Yeah, the contracts, by the way, are really lovely. They're all creator-focused, so creators... I presume this isn't just for me, but this is for all standard Roll20 contracts, which is the creators retain all ownership of the work. You're just giving them a license to host it on their website and not to put it on like a direct competitor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is very reasonable.
Very, very. Yeah, because it would be a shame if you'd kind of make all the stuff and not be able to like use it for yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense to not be like undermining them, which I think is very fair for them being very generous that way. So,
and all of the chats I've had with them, they've been really chill to talk to and just vibe with, really, in our meetings. So they've been very approachable in like a work point of view, which has been nice.
Nice. That's always good. I'm trying to improvise what sheep or ram looks like in my head, and it's fine. It'll do as a placeholder for now. It's a ball with 4 legs, and that's all that matters.
I mean, this is something that I like lukewarm take of the day in terms of illustration. I feel like more stylized illustration is needed in role-playing games. The whole point of us telling stories and playing these games and playing different genres and themes is to explore different narrative styles, and the rules fit different aesthetics for the story. So you wouldn't play like Pathfinder if you wanted to do like a long, lonely voyage through space. Like it's not the vibe for it.
Yeah, definitely.
And equally, you wouldn't necessarily want to play like Lasers and Feelings, which is an indie like space role-playing game about the captain being taken over by some dangerous force and you have to figure it out. You wouldn't do that if you wanted to play like a medieval political romance story a la Romeo and Juliet. Like the two systems don't engage those narratives. So equally, I think illustration, especially like mainstream illustration, really needs to start leaning into just being cool and getting freaky with it, because it'd be sick to have more stylized like creatures and animals that give more of a take on like what your idea of that time and aesthetic and period is, as opposed to striving for this sort of like realism all the time.
Yeah, definitely. It keeps it. I feel like it kind of keeps it in a very similar like box or like style of what people are kind of imagining. Like high fantasy has changed quite a lot. I think, especially with the function of like just like general media that have come out in recent years. I think it's kind of changed what people kind of perceive it as. It's not so much, not necessarily as Lord of the Ringsy as it was, perhaps. But yeah, different takes are quite nice. Because that was like one of the game last night we were playing. The DM couldn't find like a version of what he pictured and didn't really have like couldn't really draw it. Kind of weird like abomination hydra fish limby thing. Yeah, it was weird, but you just kind of had to like settle for what you could find of just like a regular hydra. And it's like, well, this isn't what it looks like. Just picture what I've like imagined or what I've described to you instead.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like it's okay to like having these really generic illustrations is cool.
Yeah,
but also having specialized weird stuff can really help lean storytelling in cool directions.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't blame anyone for not having like detailed stuff if they're doing. I'm talking about more on a publishing side. Like I'm not saying that like people who play games need to like find weird art. I mean like the publishers need to be okay with like having more weird stuff, because then it puts more variety out into the market.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean there.
Yeah. So like 5th edition, as much as I can talk about its strengths and its weaknesses, especially with the conversation happening on Twitter these days, it has a very, very bland, generic art style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of like cool little bits, but they could definitely be like stretched out a lot more.
Yeah. And to be honest, those cool bits actually feature in other editions. Like that's old artwork they've just stuck into 5th edition.
Yeah. Definitely. It's starting to look a bit more like a weird dog sheep, but that's just fine for now.
I mean, it could be a sheepdog. Also, speaking of two animals merged together, Avatar: The Last Airbender, obviously everyone's rewatching it, /rewatched it, /watched it for the first time. I love merged animals. Give me a turtle duck any day.
Absolutely. I actually have an Appa plush. I know he's not really but I have an Appa plush and he's like, I love him. He arrived from, I don't know, some very like off-brand.
Oh, we love an off-brand. Oh, he's so cute and fluffy.
He's really soft. He's got like loads of little toes as well.
Oh, little toesies! Oh my god, and they're shiny.
Yeah, but he kind of arrived like vacuum packed. And so like I just opened the package and just saw like the face just like squished up. It was terrifying.
Terrible. Yes. Oh, welcome to Working on a Dime, where we do very, very bad French accents.
All the time.
Mm-mm-mm.
Some sort of accent. 80% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really cool, exciting news. We're going to be doing a trial of like some maps and some minis as like a pack together. And the minis will be all system neutral. So there'll be minis designed by you, Fraser, with characters, descriptions, how they act, like little primers that anyone can use in any game attached to each of them. So you can just like literally just grab the character and stick them out. And if you're the game master, then you can also like see additional information, and they'll be vaguely themed. I'm thinking I may even make this like a monthly thing and do them as packs that go out from the Patreon for Dungeons on a Dime, so that there's minis on top of like the combat map and the location map and the classes that I do. So that way it's like one massive content pack full of just cool stuff every month for people.
Yeah,
and it could be really neat.
I like that. Right, try and draw an orc with a mullet.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of mullets, I'm going to be honest, but
Scandalous.
like at what point does a mullet just turn into a really lazy ponytail?
You know what? That's a very astute.
Like, is it the rubber band tie? Is it the fact that you've tied it and brushed it that makes it a ponytail?
Possibly? Quite possibly.
Oh, I just had the most disgusting idea of like an extended mullet. Like, imagine if it just like went straight, like the hair. It was all the same length, but it grew down, and the hair was down the neck and down the back as well. So really
just, like,
thick back hair.
Oh god, that's gross. Isn't that? Is that not kind of like what Avatar, like Blue James Cameron Avatar, is kind of like?
No, their genitalia in their hair.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's different. They've got like the weird.
Yeah, I keep forgetting because wait, do they have tails as well? No, they don't have tails.
They do?
No, do they?
I'm gonna Google the Na'vi.
Like whatever we're talking about, and like a kind of tiefling-esque. I don't know.
Oh, shut up. So my phone is a Oogle phone. Oh, even if I said Oogle, it got it. Yeah, it's from that company, and every time I say their brand, then it turns on and it's like, hello.
I have an Oogle speaker, and sometimes I'll just be playing and it'll just like start talking to me, like it's listened to what I've been saying and be like, oh, here are search results for da 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 da. I'm like, I didn't ask for this.
Okay, so no, they don't have mullets.
Okay.
Like, they do have hair, but they don't have mullets. They do have tails. Or like they could have mullets, but it's not necessarily. Like the mullet is not a facto part of their weird blue aesthetic. On that point of mullets, Jenny says, I love that orc with a mullet.
Oh, thank you. I just erased him. I'm going to bring him back.
And also that the sound of Anna Pegleg is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Is it Anna Peg? Nana Peg, sorry.
Nana Peg.
Nana Peg, yeah, because she is a granny. Oh, yeah, does she not own a brothel? I think she owns a brothel.
Oh, love it.
She's like all out. Like, she's, yeah, one of my favorite characters, I think, that's ever come out of any D&D game that I've heard. She's a good yin.
Okay, I have like an isometric guide on this, but honestly, it's not really helping me. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, there's a point where it just doesn't. It doesn't help.
Well, I'm not actually in isometric perspective. I'm just sort of like near far, having a vibe with it, and
yeah,
I'm only doing like loose drafts as well.
Very, very fair.
This brush is too thick.
I feel like I have to do some like mutton chops of some sort here. I always really struggle with like hair styles.
You should speak to Atlanta, because Atlanta says her favorite thing to do is draw characters with cool clothes and hair, and then get really sad that she doesn't have said hairstyle and said clothes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get that. I get like jealousy from some things that I draw. I'm like, why can't I look like this? And then sometimes I realize I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is just me. It's like there's only one way. It's like complete opposite end of the scale of like, why can I never look like this? And oh, why does everything look like me? So see, we'll see. Oh, I've almost finished off. Did I showed you the merchandise I was doing for a friend, right?
No, you never did.
Did I not show you it? Well,
No.
I'll show you it. It's good. It's looking really, really good.
Oh, you son of a... I just realised I'm drawing on the draft layer. As in, like, not the layer that I want to be. I just did a draft, and I meant to do a separate layer, and I haven't.
Here we go. It's like a kind of demonic pin-up. Like,
ooh, pretty.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Hang on, I'm gonna, like, really squish my face into the screen. Neat.
Yeah.
So you said that was for some merch?
Yeah, my friend, or it's one of my work colleagues, and also a friend, is drag queen. It's his like drag persona, Saturn, and they're looking to do some merchandise. So like putting on a T-shirt, possibly like a tote bag or something. I don't really know. But yeah, it's been good fun to work on.
It's a nice balance of like darks and lights, which means that it'll be easy to read. I mean, you know that, but
yeah, I hope so. It's just trying to wrap my head around like how the printing works. Of like, will there be transparency? Like, is it gonna look gross if is it gonna be like super shiny? Like, yeah, just have to see. Hoping they'll get.
I had to because I was redoing a bunch of stuff for the Dungeon Master screen, which is now in the middle of printing. And there's an update for the In the Red Kickstarter has just gone out today about that. But I had to rejig the artwork and move things about because I was with a new printer because reasons. And I actually had to, for the first time ever, because it's never something I've ever considered, I had to look at ink proportions, ink density. That's the word. That's a cute face, by the way. Just saying. So that's basically total ink coverage is what it is. So you know how when you're printing, you have rollers of ink and they squeeze out ink, right?
Yep.
And you've got your four colors: cyan, maroon, yellow, and key. Maroon. So to get different colors, they have different, essentially, levels of color being used. Anywhere from like 0% ink to total all the way through ink. But that means that you can get up to 400% coverage in theory if you're getting a really, really dark, rich black where you're using like totally all of the colors. That can give you a very warm, rich black, but also means there's 400% ink on the page, which basically means it's all greasy, slidey, messy, and it can get really messed up if you're not using the perfect materials in the right setting.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that the ink coverage was below like 330, and just having color separations in InDesign, all that other jazz, like that was something I'd never done before.
Yeah, is that something you set in InDesign then? Because I feel like I've come across those settings before.
So you can, you can do it in Photoshop, but it is for some reason InDesign is very understanding and easy to use, and Photoshop is less and less intuitive. Every single update. But you can do it in InDesign. Well, you can see it in InDesign.
Yeah.
And there are some helpful videos that I can send you if you are curious.
Yeah, interesting. I don't often have to do it, but it's just I've definitely come across the settings, and I've always just like, wonder what that is.
It's something we never did on my uni course because we were quite a physically orientated thing, and now looking in retrospectively, also we were very like middle of the process oriented. Like we make the artwork, we scan it, we send it off, and it's someone else's problem to worry about getting it onto the branding and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't really have to consider that as much. Yeah, definitely.
By the way, can you hear that glugging?
No.
Good. Basically, at some point, like last week, a guy came to the flat next door and drilled in the wall, did some stuff, and now my pipes in the kitchen just constantly glug. You know how like if you've got the washing machine on and it's connected to the same thing, you can have that like noise?
Yeah.
Like it's doing that, but I'm not doing anything. So clearly it's having like a slight connection thing with someone else's pipes.
Yeah, it's like something with the pressure. It's gross.
Yeah. Welcome to Working on a Dime, where Brian does plumbing.
Plumbing on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
What the guy did. Right. Thinking I'll maybe do this like big, beefy kind of.
Yes. I don't care what. Yes.
Child looking. Little halfling man, perhaps? Or no, wait. Yeah, wait, halflings are basically hobbits, right? More or less.
Yes.
Ish.
Honestly, like originally they were.
Yeah.
Like in like AD&D, the origins of the halfling was that they were like off-brand hobbits. Now they're very much more presented in 5th edition as basically just being like humans, but twinks. Like thin and joyous, and they dance and they don't eat much, and they love their culture and blah blah blah. But they're very much not hobbit vibing anymore. Which I don't know. I love the idea of just a group of people who just like hang out and eat. That's me.
They're like little human, tiny hobbit twinks.
But like, this is the thing, is that all of the official artwork is like that as well. Like they're all like really skinny thin, and I know that like in Pathfinder, halflings are much more elfin. Yeah. Ultimately, I'd say just make a halfling whatever you want them to be. They're basically like small people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what's the difference between a halfling and a dwarf? Well, no one knows. Except they're not racist, probably, maybe.
Yeah.
Or inherently racist.
Yeah, I kind of was clocking in a little bit on what was going on Twitter with that, but also just kind of wasn't. There's a lot of folk who are just like, oh, keep things the way they are, but it's like, just don't do it.
I mean, I could talk about it if you want, or it's also like, I wasn't paying attention because I do not have the energy or the time, which is valid.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe come back to that.
Yeah.
A little posing. Everyone's like, oh, that arm is way too big. Not only do my eyes not see color, they do not see proportion either, apparently.
Oh, I saw your post about, like, help, these are just the same two pinks on your Twitter.
Like, I can tell there's a slight difference, but I'm just like, purple just doesn't exist in my world. Like, there's one super specific shade of purple. And I'm like, okay, that's purple. But then, like, when you start throwing, like, magenta into the mix, like, people are like, oh, it's pink, but it's kind of like purple, but then it's also maybe, like, in between. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. My poor little baby brain can't handle this.
So, like, yeah.
It's weird. Because I know my colorblindness is very mild compared to some others, but I'm also super, super curious to, like, try those glasses at some point.
Ooh, special glasses that, like, help differentiate it.
But just to see if there is a difference. But I don't understand how they work. I tried to look into it the other day, but I still don't really understand. I didn't really look into it enough. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Further. Oh, this guy's definitely gonna get some like tattoos. What would be kind of Scottish themed tribal tattoos?
Well, so I don't have any research, but I do know that basically there was a proto-language in Scotland that was sort of like a tagging system. So basically, it commemorated events, tribes, and places, and different combinations of these symbols meant different things. And it's found all over Scotland.
That's always something I've really wondered if, like, I've always wanted to try and do some sort of sci-fi future Scotland with like what would it be if I don't really know how to describe it with words. Just like taking typically kind of Celtic themes and pushing them into like sci-fi material.
Mm. Well, I mean, well, Celtic is a really broad term because technically the Celts are a French people, sort of like French European populace, and it's like Celt culture is very wide. The air quote Celts and that sort of like runic and that style
Yeah,
varies all over Europe and England and Scotland and Wales and bits of Ireland as well. But
yeah.
like,
Often Celtic myth is like more often Irish than it is Scottish. I found, or a lot of like a lot of the kind of written stuff tends to be there.
I think what could be really cool is like taking that sort of imperialism. So like Rome came in, and the whole of Rome culture, in my understanding, is based on expansion and conquering and pushing the borders further and further. And eventually it collapsed because the empire got so big and there was nowhere else to go, and or like anywhere they could, or places they couldn't go were because the people were better at defending that space, and there wasn't really a point to the empire existing anymore, and it just kind of collapsed under its own weight because it was built on a very flawed premise.
Yes.
So I like the idea of maybe instead of like the Roman Empire, like maybe there was like this large cultures come through and then everything's fallen apart, but it's like in the future. Maybe like the space Roman Empire.
Yeah.
So they came in, they introduced like all this technology and completely like conquered this planet Scotland, and then they disappeared. But not because like they're like, oh, mysterious. Like, oh, we know where they went. They just like their phone ran out of credit and they're not picking up our calls anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've really been wanting to try and do this kind of personal project of taking Scotland and Scottish landscape and cities and things like that and pushing it like a kind of sci-fi feel to things.
Mm.
In the next like 50 years maybe. I don't know. Just imagining like more like high tech like wind farms out in the middle of like Scottish landscape, because I think the wind farms can be quite beautiful sometimes.
I really think they are. Like it's lovely to see it and know what's going on with it as well.
Exactly. Like I don't think they ruin a view. I think they kind of make it quite interesting. Like it is just like it's going to have to be the state of the world, not to get too like socio-political and all that shit, but
I mean, like, do it. I stand.
Yeah, like I think it's like a necessity if we're going to keep the world like not burning. And I think it like they are quite beautiful. But imagining that they would have like propellers that didn't have any resistance, so some sort of like magnetic floating kind of propeller thing, just like take like a few further steps further. But like I guess like the UK and Scotland don't really have much of their own original identity because they stole it from everywhere else. Yeah, I don't know. It's something has been going off in the back of my mind that I would like to explore a bit more, but don't really know where to start. Same with the kind of like origins of Celtic language and Celtic kind of culture and things. A lot of it was obviously wiped out by Christianity and Roman and the church and like all that kind of stuff. I don't know very well. I'm not too well versed on general history stuff. I'm terrible doing research, but yeah.
Done it again. Drawing on the wrong layer.
Oh, I did that. I was converting my character sheet onto my iPad, and after pretty much finishing the whole thing, realized I'd written all on the character, like straight onto the character sheet, so I could erase things and move things around and like with notes and stuff. Very annoyed. Ooh. Right, so an angry little halfling that. Just all of my characters, I just like to give them like a little piercing because it just makes them look cool.
Mood.
Right. I kind of love him. He looks like he's ready.
Oh, he's got a lot of sass.
He's just like ready to start a bar fight. the moment. Do. Ooh. So you're gonna order pizza, you think?
Part of me is now like really into drawing. I'm like, I'd be fine. We'll see how late we go.
This is true. This is true. No, I realized I have a stash of like Biscoff biscuits, which I will be laying into ASAP.
Yeah, if I had a stash of biscuits, I would chomp chomp chomp. But
they would be gone. Bring that mullet back, baby.
So how would you describe your process for drawing characters and like figuring all of that out?
Oh my god, I wish I knew. If I had a process, my life would be so much easier. I literally just start drawing shapes. Just see what happens. And that's like the worst process for it. But like I really struggle to visualize things in my head. Like I kind of get ideas of stuff, but I don't really see an image. Aphantasia. So I don't know. I just kind of like start drawing. I kind of know like a rough. I get like a rough head shape and kind of rough facial features, but it's just kind of whatever feels. It's weird. A lot of it's just kind of feeling based, like what's going right or what's going well. I could have making adjustments that way. Yeah, it's not really a process, unfortunately. I don't have much knowledge to divulge.
That's valid though. Like, it can be really interesting seeing how people work, but also really tough to pin down how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm always, I don't know, I feel like it would be way more efficient if I just stopped reinventing the wheel every time I did an image.
Yeah, I feel like I try and do that a lot as well. Like, I feel like, okay, this looks too much like XYZ, therefore it's not, like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
completely brand new every single time, and it's like quite exhausting, and I really need to not do that so much. Obviously, like, I guess that's where like the kind of thing of doing studies comes in. When you do studies of something, your own like flavor kind of comes out a little bit. So while you're looking at something and drawing it, you get everyone to draw a mug, it's all going to look slightly different just by the way that you prefer to draw shapes or lights or use color. So it's just kind of got to remind yourself that like your art is original as it is. You know, this is the motivational speech for the day. Push it as much as you can, but don't feel like bad about whatever you're making if it's not like reinventing the wheel.
I agree. I get that.
Yeah. Copy art then. I need to get some. I'm gonna get some images up. I'm gonna call up on the good old Pinterest.
Oh, Pinterest! It's like
so many Pinterest boards. It's actually disgusting. But like even the ones that are like public, there's too many. And there's more. And I have private ones as well that are just like for like commissions or projects and stuff that like.
But the idea of Pinterest is really good, but like the ethics behind it, you're like, oh god.
Yeah. I wish that crediting a lot easier. But
it should be like you can tag any image from a source, but if that source disappears, then the image itself is removed from Pinterest, as opposed to like this sort of like endless like, oh, I click on this image and it takes me to a Google search.
Yeah, definitely. God, have so many boards. Does it tell you how many you have? I don't know. I don't want to know because I'm going to have to count them otherwise.
I do not know.
Oh my god. Well, I'm over 100 so far. No, sorry, not yet. Oh yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh my god, that's way too many. Okay, so do you want to try and guess how many I have?
Okay, so I'd guess between 50 and 200.
You're correct, for sure.
Okay, so benefit of the doubt, I'd say 72.
Okay. Just under double that.
140.
Well, okay, no, it's like 120 something.
Oh, okay, that's totally fine.
I'm actually in shock. That's so bad.
I don't think I have 120 notes in my Google Keep.
That's so bad. I mean, to be fair, some of them have like just 2 pins in them, and we're like starting points for.
Oh, to be fair, you're like, oh, this beautiful project I'm going to do. 2 pins, and then you're like, I'm done with you.
Absolutely. There's like little like projects like from uni and very, very, very niche things. Yeah. That's sad. Anyway, not looking at those, let's look up some period. Yes. We want. Do we want many?
Ooh, I don't think you're not sharing anymore. Did you close your iPad?
It fell asleep. No, does that crash it?
Yeah, you'll have to reshare it, my dude.
My bad.
We are. Oh, I didn't even realize Google Hangout. Okay, so Google Hangouts is a great thing, but it's also evil. Where you can get captions, but then if I put my mouse on the screen, it covers them, which is horrible. So yeah, and every time it has a notification, it covers them right up.
Oh, that's
so
annoying.
Aggravating and dumb. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I've been seeing this little thing going with the captions, like the automatic captions.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
But yes, now we're back.
We're back, baby. I really want to try and throw it off now, like see how it's actually like working to pick up what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same.
No,
but like 9 out of 10 words are correct. Sometimes it can throw in some very interesting solutions.
Yeah, that's like some of my favorite things. We were watching. What were we watching in the flat? It was like a supercut of Sharon Osbourne's like highlights from X Factor, and I don't know why we're watching it, but it's just very funny because she's just so sassy and just brilliant. But like half of the translations were just so wrong. It was so good. It was so good. And I think we started watching like the Osbournes like reality show.
Good. Oh god. Oh jeez. Sorry, just realized with your search, period dress medieval, you may not get dresses that are historical.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the word historical that is the issue. So medieval dresses would probably get you some interesting stuff.
Fair.
Or like, say like 8th century, 9th century Scottish dresses.
Yeah.
But, yes. Gotta love that Google search.
Yep, she's really doing the most. Outfits. Let's look for outfits of the day. Oh god. Just trying to find some like starting points, you know? Oh, this is it. This is the one. That's it. I never understood like those little. I hate those like stupid little like medieval caps. Like, I just despise
Coif.
them. Yeah, sure. I just hate them.
Is there a reason why you hate coifs?
I don't know. I just think I don't know. I just every time I see them, I'm just like, oh, no thanks. It just looks daft. I don't know.
Fair. It was like a respect thing. In theory, showing like the top of your head and your hair was disrespectful. So like was vanity. Also, I believe like nits were a thing in the day. So maybe it was like, I'm not gonna get my nits on you.
Oh, of course. That makes a lot more sense.
Like, treat yourself. Here's some nits.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I thought they just look kind of dumb.
Mm.
I just was not a fan. Big beefy orc with Mala, of course. Hmm.
I honestly don't know how I want to draw this. Because I'm trying to make myself do more color and be more engaged, so to speak, in that sense. But also, I feel that I rely too heavily on line work, and it gets me in trouble.
Interesting. I think, well, like, I don't know, two different approaches. I think the line work is very nice in like defining and using like detail. I don't know. It's like a fine in between where I still don't really know for myself like where I like the balance of using texture and the color or texture and the line work to figure out where things
Because yourself included, I have seen some fantastic color work done. And I'm just like, oh, jealous. I just want to be able to draw like that and understand and like have it make sense coherently. And I feel like when I do color, it gets way too complicated.
Well, if it helps you any, I just do it. I don't know. I don't really think about it too
Just
much. I don't
do it.
just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Quite a lot of the time people say like, "Oh, I really love the colors you've used." I don't want. I don't mean to sound like I don't know how to. What am I trying to say? The words. I'd be humble about it. I get a lot of comments on my color use, but like I don't really see what's going on with that.
Okay.
Like I don't know. Yeah. Right. I need to go back and see what's going on. Right. Let's go for like a Selkie kind of thing. Imagining just like a brilliant fur coat. Oh, we need to have like there needs to be like an NPC that's like this kind of regal old lady that wears the fur coat, which is a Selkie.
Ooh, maybe like an ambassador or something.
Yes. Ooh. Yep. I like that. Have you played the new Pokemon game?
No. I'm not a big fan of Pokemon. Not to say that I don't like it as like, Pokemon is bad, you know? Just,
Yeah,
I don't feel like it's always been my vibe.
but in the new game, one of the gym leaders is just like this kooky old lady, and she's great. I just love her so much. But she has this like amazing coat that's just like kind of like how vultures have that ruffle around their neck, and it's just like a great shape. She's got this big beaky nose. It's kind of an in between, like in Hell's Castle, or Hell's Moving. No, not Hell's Moving Castle. Yes, Hell's Moving Castle. And Spirited Away. Like, why do the witches in that always look the same?
Oh, it's like that. It's the way they do the old ladies. It's like that sort of like that hook nose, like big man.
Yeah, very much that.
With
like,
the big old white head bun as well, and
yes, exactly that. And she's just like obsessed with the color pink, and I just love her. It just reminds me so much of my friend. Right, let's do something like that. We should have a little bit of a Yzma vibe, maybe. Skinny head. Brooch. Oh yeah, I've completely sidetracked. I forgot to say the character that I was playing with. I completely just left that story short for some reason. The D&D character.
Oh yeah. Tell me more.
He leveled up, so he's level 6, and gets to take. I think I'm going to go for another level in Warlock, so he gets the Pact boon.
So what's your split right now?
So he's level 5 just now, so it's 3 in Sorcerer and 2 in Warlock. But I'm going to go for the 3/3 so I can get the Pact boon.
Yeah.
This is him roughly.
Oh, cute.
This guy, Iridus. This was me trying to work out his outfits. But yeah, I want to go and take a level in Warlock so I can get a pseudo dragon familiar.
Oh, baby.
This little cutie. Yeah, very excited about that.
But also, they have hit points and stuff. Are you going to go pact of the? You're going to go pact of the chain then?
Yes, I think so. Because he's not one to be up and in about combat at all. I think you'd like to think he would, but he's just definitely not. The spells one, he's kind of a celestial warlock and wild magic sorcerer. So there's way too many spells going on there already.
Yeah,
so many, and then he's got multiple items that can do a lot of cool stuff, and yeah, there's just a lot of stuff there. So I don't think I need any more cantrips. As fun as some of them would be. Clean my screen. So yes, we'll see what happens. But I'm very excited for that because with the World's End, every time you level up past level 5, you get a custom magic item built for you by one of the DMs.
Is this a long-running campaign thing?
Kind of. We only go up to level 10, but the adventures are. It's just it's a group that usually, when it's not COVID season, running out of a local pub, and you just create a character, come along, join the adventures. You sign up each week on a Tuesday, and then we play on the Thursday.
Man, that sounds so damn cool.
It's really good. I got my first DM session semi-recently through that. Yeah, it's a really fun system that you kind of can drop in and out of. I've got 2 different characters that I use at the moment. One of them is away on a longer campaign, which is very hasn't really happened before, or doesn't happen often. So every 2 weeks we play that arc, and then the rest of it is just as and when whatever's going. So it's very cool. It gives you a lot of chance to level up quite quickly and kind of get used to characters, and it's all XP based, so you can usually fly through levels quite quickly. It is lots of fun.
I don't know of anything like that in Edinburgh, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm trying to think how many people are in the group. I think there's I think in the it's a Facebook group. I think in the Facebook group there's maybe around 200 members, but it's been running for it's been running for ages, and I think actively there's maybe 30 odd people maybe. Are consistently active and playing games and hosting games and stuff. So yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
Also, hello to Vi, who is my editor, who runs Collabs Without Permission, who just says pretty drawings. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Vi is the mastermind behind making my ramblings make sense. And most recently, this is a public call out. Vi, you need to send me an invoice for your editing work. This is a thing I didn't think I would have a problem with running Dungeons on a Dime, but consistently I have to chase artists to send me invoices so I can pay them.
Oh man.
And that was actually really fun commiserating with some other people who run businesses. They were like, yeah, I have to harass my artist, and they're like, no, it's fine, just pay me whenever. And I'm like, no, I want to pay you now. Let me give you money.
We really are an interesting breed, aren't we? Like just like, oh no, it's fine. Like, thank you so much for commissioning me, but just like, don't worry about it. Like,
yeah.
it's like, oh my god, I'll get it done like super quick, and then like, oh but yeah, just don't worry about paying me, like just whenever. Like I don't want to be
yeah, like please, just like, oh, don't pay me, just make me do more work.
Yeah, just make me feel like I have use.
Yeah, validate my existence, please.
Just give me more jobs so I can tell my grandmother I'm still employed.
Ah. Well, that's the thing. That's the telling people you're employed. To be honest, I feel like all of my thoughts became jumbled there. We're conditioned to work for free because of the stupid exposure system, and then we're like, oh, it's fine if I'm doing the work, like making rent. I didn't get to do that anyway.
Yeah, I know. I said to my folks kind of semi recently. I can't remember why. I think my brother had a dig at me because obviously, like, I'm on furlough just now because of Miss Rona.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, at least I'm still employed. And I was like, little brother, I am also employed. I technically have 3 jobs. I'm being furloughed for one, I'm self-employed for the other. And I was like, I work for Dungeons on a Dime. My parents were like, you work for Dungeons on a Dime? And I was like, well, not really, but also, yeah, kind of.
I mean, if you ever need a reference, you get it. Like exactly. That. And you did the front cover, you've done a lot of internal illustrations for like 2 other issues. Yeah.
Exactly. It's consistent work, so I would consider it like a job. I'm not necessarily an employee, but you know. I sort of like, yeah, little brother, take that.
Yeah. Also, sorry for calling you out, Vi. I feel like it's good for everyone to experience what it's like to, like, at least it's commiserating together.
Just let me pay you, goddammit.
Oh, that you moving the head for the old lady just reminds me of those really dumb Procreate memes of people like have mini animations where they like move like the hand and it goes like
yeah, like what? Hello?
Ooh, yeah, and I oop.
And I oop.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. I love it though. Now, what is the patterning on a seal? This looks more like feathers than it does like a seal, but you know, it's fine.
It's they're grey, and then they're light grey towards their heads, dark grey towards like their bellies, and they have spotting in between.
Yeah, I was thinking like the spotting is what I was.
Because it does look like feathers. And
I kind of want that big shape though, so I'm kind of in between of like, I don't know.
Maybe it's like it's not feathers. It's like one smooth ball, but there's like one large. Like she has huge shoulders, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a ball gown.
Yeah. Let's try and not make it look too.
So Vi's asking Fraser, which pieces have to done? Which I'm gonna assume or interpret that as which pieces have you done for Dungeons on a Dime?
Oh, for Dungeons on a Dime. I have done... What have I done? Goodness. I worked on Blood in the Water, creating some of the inside illustrations and characters. What else? Then the next one was Greenheart after that. Yes, so that was mostly inside illustrations and one of the minis. And then most of the stuff recently has been for the Kickstarter, was the front cover, back cover, exclusive poster, which have we revealed?
Yes, I also have it. Let me hit 1 sec.
Oh, so yeah, so Reciprint poster.
Very gracefully standing up from my desk there. Yeah, exclusive poster. Reciprint. Ooh, by the way, I need to send them to you. Miss Rona's never going to let up.
Never, she's relentless. Just
yeah, so I need to send them to you so you can sign them and send them to Ver, because in theory, like, even if lockdown were to lift, I wouldn't want to do it because like, I don't want to risk people. I wanted to see where it was happening in the world. What was like, if it was gonna be like, oh, we found a cure in like 4 weeks. Big wishes.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens, I guess.
But yeah, no, I will be sending them to you, so I'll get your address. Not on stream, that would be creepy.
Three things. I guess like as long as we kind of leave them sitting for a while, like just to be very safe and make sure they are not like just leave them left alone for like a couple days is usually the.
Well, the thing I was thinking is, like, it's fine if it's sent to you, and you can, like, to be honest, like, I would probably leave them anyway, out of laziness, not out of safety for coronavirus. But I meant the risking of like meeting in person and signing them.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
all like the exposure in the travel that would happen along the way.
yes. No, this is not happening.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a pond in here.
Pond makes everything better. I feel like she's gonna have like a weird little like. But yeah, is that everything I've worked on?
You also did the Patreon
Yeah,
dice. So the dice for the different tiers of my Patreon were done by Fraser because cute. I really like them.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was a really nice one to work on. What kind of item do I want this lady to have? Just now she's kind of got like a kind of little old lady, like she should have like a little handbag here.
Speaking of the Patreon, other new exciting news. Do I have them on here? Hang on, I'm going to turn my screen off for half a second.
Okay.
So I can find them. But I have an exclusive offer with my Patreon. If anyone signs up for $5 or more next month for the whole of July, they get a pin badge.
Oh yeah, the pins.
And I have some cute designs somewhere. Somewhere.
Over the rainbow.
To be fair, it is a rainbow design or like rainbow colors. So yeah, over the rainbow is some.
Thing, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I don't know what's going on here.
Ooh, an email. Yay! Thank you, Vi.
Called out. It works. Public calling out works.
Yep.
You heard it here first, folks.
Ooh, I made a new folder called merchandise, which is why I can't find them and where I think they should be.
Of course.
So I have these designs. So if you sign up for $5 or more, then you get one of these designs randomly. It'll be on the stream, and wait for Fraser to see.
Oh, sorry.
They're not up yet because it's being done.
Yeah, I can see them now.
Oh, great. So, they're just like the different dice designs. It's like a design idea I've had for a while of like the different sizes of die and like the DOAD holding the coin like on a dime vibe. But yeah, so you can get one of these badges if you sign up for $5 or more, or you can choose which one if you sign up for $10. And then also I have a patch, which will be coming in like 5 weeks because they take a while. But it is cute.
Yes, excellente. I love that.
So yes, I have badges and patches and cool, fun stuff and merch.
I love that.
Speaking of like dice and Patreon and things.
Yes. How do I... Right.
So what other work have you been doing other than Dungeons on a Dime? Because you are a freelance, full-on, hire this man illustrator.
That's me. What else have I been done? Sorry, I'm just turning off notifications.
Oh, yes. You want to turn off previews. Show previews never. There you go. Because I have had some previews show up that I did not want people to see.
Very fair. What else have I been doing? I will just scroll through my Procreate because that's pretty much all that I use.
Since getting an iPad Pro, I have only ever really used Procreate.
I've used Illustrator a little bit here and there, but for the most part, yeah, just that.
I use it for image trace, and that's it.
Yeah, I've done a couple of logos recently, so this is one thing that I worked on.
Oh, I saw that went up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a logo for a little gallery that runs out of a local craft draft beer place. They're really cool in Dundee. Dynamo, if anyone is Dundee based or visiting, they're really nice, very friendly people. But yeah, so they run not on draft out of there to the managers, I believe. I don't think they're the owners. But this was some kind of branding to establish it, to start getting some merch done, some t-shirts, some hats, some coasters and things, to start covering the overheads for running the kind of gallery space out of that. So that has been really fun. And I might get some free merch out of it at some point, which is nice.
Clothe your artists.
Yeah, baby. So yeah, that was a really fun one to work on. The finals were a little bit neater. This was obviously just drawn straight in.
To be fair though, that looks really decent for.
Thank you.
Like when I draw a pint glass, I'm like, oh, nice little curve, and then like that, and yeah, and it's yeah. They're always messy. So the fact you've got like that grey, like, I thought they were vectors. So
yeah, that's good. I can send I'll send myself the style sheet which I made to my iPad so that I can show it more easily.
Oh, I need to make a style guide for Dungeons on a Dime. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
About like branding and fonts.
Oh, do the thing. Here we go. So that's the. Oh goodness. Oh, I forget that it's a PNG, so it's like kind of disappears. But yeah, essentially that. If it comes back up, hopefully, maybe. Oh no! Oh, it's all gone black. That's weird. Okay, let me do some tinkering to load it.
Vi says, I need to get a jacket that I can use as a battle jacket for patches. Yes. I got a denim jacket in a TK Maxx, which is like secondhand store vibe thing. And it is amazing. And I love it.
Yeah, that's always a good one. I have far too many denim jackets, or debatably not enough. You know, it's one or the other. There we go. Yeah, so that's the style sheet for the logo. So it's a little bit neater. And just some like little colors and things and like the font and stuff. So that was really good fun to work on.
Cute.
Yeah, so there's been that. I've done a couple of D&D commissions.
Ooh. Show.
Where the hell did I put them? Where did I put them? Oh, here we go. So these are a couple of the players that play in the World's End group. This is Bones. She's a big orc wife. She's great.
Oh, hey, loving that screen tone.
Yeah, I've really taken to using the screen tone now as like some like kind of detailing. She's a badass. And this is Sen, the Shadow Monk. That's the Edgelord.
Who's not that bad.
He's not that bad. He's very cool. He kind of casts the mirror image thing by like breaking his own thumb, stabbing it into his like solar plexus there, the eye of the tattoo on his chest.
Breaking his thumb?
Well, I don't know. I think that's kind of what he implied.
I could just imagine being like, oh, I'm going to cast a spell, break your thumb. I'm like, great, I can never do that again.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. The way he was talking about it, he was like, we kind of glanced at the cleric like, you're going to hate this.
Oh.
He needed to do something and jam the thumb into his solar plexus and pulling out like the kind of bled shadows and then the shadows raised up into the mirror images. So it's very cool, very edgy. There is a little holding spot there for another character, Borknork, the science orc.
We love a rhyme.
We love a rhyme. What else? Did a little portrait of my granddad for his birthday.
Ooh, cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Toon Me illustration, by the way, I swear, didn't you get like thousands of likes? That blew up.
It did, and I was so happy. Like it took me, I just hit 1,000, and I was like, hell yeah. I really want to get that sword like commissioned. Like just having a sword with like leaves like etched onto the blade would just be my dream. Yeah, is that everything? I feel like I've done other stuff. Oh yeah, like the merch for my friend, the t-shirt there. That's very fun. Yeah, and mostly just kind of playing about with D&D stuff. This is my other character, Pleasure. She's a bad bitch.
Mm-hmm. That
She
is an
levels up
acceptable
well and
vibe. The vibe has been accepted.
Yes. So I think that's kind of been it mostly.
So Vi says, you can only cast 10 spell slots because your fingers are your spell slots.
Oh.
And now, from that, I'm imagining like you have a necromancer, and as opposed to having scrolls, necromancers enchant bones.
Oh, I love that.
And so like you have to literally have like you could in theory cast extra spells by breaking your fingers, but then that means you can't like cast spells anymore. So it's like a really dire thing to do. But normally you have to go around the battlefield afterwards and be like, I need like this specific ear bone, and you're gonna dissect the body and you're like, oh damn it, it got clubbed. It's ruined.
I love that.
Hour wasted.
So you like enchant the bones of your hand.
Or like you enchant the bones of like dead people's hands, and you can snap dead people's hands, but also you can enchant your own bones.
That's like a last resort.
Yeah. Like the cyanide capsule, except it's a bone.
Oh, I love that. That's really good. Maybe like the size of the bone depends on how big
the spell is. Like a femur is like a level 6 spell.
Oh, for sure.
You gotta like jump on it.
Yep. For sure. Oh my god, you could jump off a building and cast fly. Or whatever.
And you're like trying to break it, you're like, oh, it's too springy.
Oh, too good. I love that.
I will write that school. I will write it.
Yeah, it's got some good potential there. I like that. Right, I don't know how I feel about this lady. She doesn't feel particularly Pictish at the moment, or Scottish, or whatever at the moment, but we'll see. She's fun. Right, I need to go back to my thoughts. So yeah, for the theme, we're thinking this kind of Scottish mythology kind of thing. Like I can write it, so I can come back to it.
I'm confused. I don't know how I got this light. Huh? It doesn't matter. Like the colors in my swatches have changed.
Oh.
Which is so weird. Like the teal that I was drawing that was from a swatch is now like slightly lighter than it was. I don't know why, but it might work out in my favor because I basically just want to kind of like draw these like tree textures in a slightly darker color that was using the palette. But yeah, I don't know if this is getting too complicated. We'll have to see.
I like it so far. I'm enjoying you can tell the lights and darks.
Yeah, like I'm hoping I won't be doing too much definition with the line work.
Oh, what's I saying? Oof, golly, that's hardcore. What is hardcore?
The bones, I think.
Oh, the bones. Okay, yeah. I was like, probably looked at that.
Because it's going to be July soon. What do you think the theme should be for next month's content?
Sorry, I was just reading Brian's message there. Partner says hi as well, Brian. Her and I alternate between calling you Brian Dungeons and Mr. Dines, both of which sound like NPC names.
Well, I mean, for this next mini pack, it's going to be Brian Dungeons. Mr. Dungeons is my father.
Oh my god. Mr. Venture.
Yeah.
I like that. Sorry, you were saying?
Well, I was just saying, like, what should the theme really be for next month?
Yeah.
Because this most recent theme was... I'm going to show you this awesome battle map I did. I'm really proud of it. It's also a massive head squig. So this is the battle map, and it's called The Ways. It's from the Wheel of Time. And the idea is that it's this... Okay, so the Wheel of Time is this fantasy series. In the fantasy series, there is this place called the Ways. It's outside of space and time. The idea is that all of the world is one weave. That's the kind of like weaving analogy they use. And this is a place that has grown naturally outside of the weave of time. So it's this weird Escher-like space where everything kind of folds together. and there are all these structures that have no like visible supports and don't make any sense. And I wanted to make a space that would be interesting to play.
Yeah.
So in theory, like you can be, I'm gonna make a new layer and draw. So you can come in on this bridge, be like la 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 la, and then you can climb up this pillar, and then you're upside down, and you can turn it in any angle, and then it changes, and it still works. So you can walk along over to here, and then walk up these stairs, and then be upside down.
Yeah, I love that.
And I wanted to make it work with the what's the word, cover for 5th edition specifically. So like if you're standing here and you are attacking someone that's there, technically it's half cover because you've got like the stairs in the way, but you can still see over this sort of like, I'm pointing with my arrow, you can sort of see over this sort of space. Or equally, like if you're here and someone here, like it's really clear and obviously easy to see.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So the theme is sort of like air quotes the ways. So all the classes I've written are like I think it's like the Oath of the Wayfinders, which are like these paladins which guard the ways, and you've got there's this ancient evil that lives, because it used to be this sunlit place with these living plants that, you know, grew food and people travel through them. The idea being that like 1 mile that you travel in the ways is like 1,000 miles in the real world.
Yeah.
So it's like really, it's basically like the superhighway of the world, but it grew dark. The sun set and something evil moved in, called Makin Shin.
Classic. I like it.
And now Makin Shin eats people.
A little snack.
Yeah, if it touches you, it eats your soul. And so there's a sorcerer subclass where like it ate your soul, but only part of it. And what's left behind, like all of you were traveling through the ways, you wake up, everyone else is dead, but you're still alive.
Oh my gosh.
And it's sort of like you're now a conduit for this sort of dark void thing.
Yeah, you got Mark Watneyed.
Yeah.
Damn. Right. Okay. I need to come back to this. What's going on here?
Okay, I very much like this tree pattern that I have going on this side. So I'm going to rub out all the other trees I did and do that pattern instead. I always feel like a better host when I'm drawing. Because when I'm doing other things, I tend to focus too much. Or I get really quiet.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, I'm just working away, and then I'll realize I haven't spoken for 3 hours and I've got no one watching the stream.
Yeah, that's me. I'm just like, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to come up with some little peeps.
What you feeling? What you thinking?
I don't know. I'm trying to come up with some, just like prompts almost.
Yeah. Vice said that traveling in the ways versus the regular world is the same as like traveling in the Nether versus the overworld in Minecraft.
Yes. Makes sense. Like
except I think there's different reasons. So I think in Minecraft it's because you're closer to like the, oh my god, FaceTime.
My grandmother calling me. Classic. I forgot I said that in color. Maybe I'll have to do that tomorrow or later on.
In Minecraft, I think it's just because you're closer to the core of the Earth, so you've got less. Okay, I'm gonna draw it. So like, this is the planet. This is the core. Traveling along here is much further to travel than like here. Whereas in the ways, it's like if this is the weave of the world, then like, and this is where time makes sense. Then you step out here and you just take a shortcut all the way around. But because it doesn't make any sense because it's not in the context of time and space, it's like a mess.
That makes sense.
Mm.
Where is my iMessage?
That's neat that your streaming app has a pause though.
What? Sorry. Oh, does it?
Because you paused it before, didn't you?
Oh no, I just like accidentally. But I could just do that actually. Maybe I will just do that.
Yeah, because you've paused it. Because that's what I meant. Because then you could like go check your iMessage and be like, I can't talk to you right now because I'm famous. All these people out here can draw actual trees, and I'm just like, I'll just draw the shape Y over and over again. All branches are Y-shaped.
Really bad because every time my granny seems to call, the last 2 days I've been in a D&D game, and then today I'm doing a stream, and I'm like, I'll call you at some point. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you need to go, that is valid.
Nah, that's still fine. Just call tomorrow. It'll be all right. It's like, okay, sounds good. Oh, I can hear that plugging now.
Yeah. Okay. So it is really loud. I'm gonna try something to shut it up. Basically, someone drilled a new pipe in the flat next door, and now my drain in my sink gurgles like a dying baby. It's just like it's gross. Anyway, BRB.
No worries. Right, I think I'm back. Yes, here we go. Okay, let's have a wee thinky think. So we're doing kind of Scottish themed NPCs. Maybe a haggis hunter. That sounds fun. Or what else? Scottish.
Okay, I'm back.
All good?
I filled the sink with water and then put a plug in.
Okay.
So that should quieten it.
Yeah, it'll do something.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I am probably going to put a note up, like, at the flats next door. Just because it's also given out, like, a faint smell.
Oh, that's not good.
Like 3-day-old bin juice. So clearly, I feel like they might have drilled into a pipe that shouldn't be drilled into.
More than likely, we've had a few pipe issues in this flat, and like it's, not good. When you get like a weird smell, you're like, things are not right, and then like a few days later, you're like, oh, something's broken or flooding or something.
Mm-hmm.
Never good.
Honestly, I am super excited for the Beast Fables game, even, that I'm going to be playing on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because it's the first episode, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I love low-level adventures.
Yeah.
Like, they're my jam. Levels 2 to 5 are my favorite in any kind of story.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's like the World's End games we play are like blocked in certain levels. So there's like 1 to 4, and then 4 to 7, I think we usually do. And then there's like 7 plus. And like the lower ones are always quite fun because they're much easier to be. You're not like so OP that you can battle everything.
Mm.
You know, it's got like a bit better balance, I feel. But
it's really cool that someone's organizing something like that as well.
What, sorry?
Like someone's organizing that. Is it a consistent world then?
To a degree, there is like a team of DMs, which I'm now part of the Secret DM Society. But it's more just like the town of World's End is kind of set up with uh, kind of some buildings that have been created by people's characters. So there's like the Mages Guild is run by this like stone cold cow bitch Mira. She's horrible. She hates everyone who isn't a wizard. She's terrible. Um,
I'm getting Dragon Age vibes there.
yeah, very. There's like the potion sellers. There's
Potion seller. Oh, what an old meme.
Captain Lofi has a petting zoo. Uh, Magnificent is one of the guy's characters. Has got this museum that she's starting up. So there's like all these kind of fun little buildings that like there's not like a map for the World's End just yet, which I may take upon myself to do. It'd be quite fun. But
definitely sounds it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's just like there's a town and there is lots of space around where things happen, and it kind of just is like a void space where whichever adventure you need can be placed somewhere near the town. So it's quite good.
But like that's what I meant. Like it is a consistent world because you have like stuff happening that other groups are doing.
Yes,
which is so cool.
It's really good.
Man, I would have loved to have been in a game like that when I was at uni, if that makes sense. Not that you're still at uni, because this is like a local Dundee thing as opposed to like a student
really
thing.
It works really, really well. Yeah, it's very, very fun. I would very much highly recommend. Yeah, because most of the adventures, like there's like most weeks, there's at least usually 2 running at the same time, and the characters just kind of hop in and out of whichever adventures are available at like whichever week. So yeah, so it's cool. It's cool. At the end of the mission, you kind of get like a roundup of the gold and the XP that you get, and you can kind of spend that however you wish. So it's fun. It's not going well. Kind of struggling to think of these kind of NPCs. I'm kind of struggling a little bit to think of these NPCs.
I mean, zoom out. You've made like 6 or 7.
Just like roughs, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like a.
Still a cool vibe.
Yeah.
So you've got a shepherd and a sheep. Yeah. You've got a puncher man, mullet orc, Selkie librarian.
Yes. I'm trying to do some sort of like pelt seller.
Ooh, V's off. So have a lovely day, Vi. Thank you for joining in.
Bye.
Yeah. So who are you feeling with this sort of shoulder plates for the gods?
I'm not too sure. I was kind of trying to go for like various pelts and things draped over the shoulder.
I'm
not too sure. I'm just playing this now. I'm trying to think of like the different roles of the different people that would be about. That makes sense.
Well, so hunter gatherers, always a strong one. I mean, tanners, hunters, farmers, herbalists. I mean, let me link you to a document that I have been slowly chipping into for Adventures on a Dime as like a resource that I wanted to make, like an extra resource. This has got 500-ish jobs on,
nice.
Which will be some fab inspiration for you. I'm going to send it to your Instagram. It's a Google Sheets, so you can just open it on your phone. But I took this list, I retweeted it. It's on my Twitter history somewhere. It's not my list, but it was a list that sort of like was assembled as part of a Reddit thing. My goal is to make example jobs for all of the jobs there. It is 363 different jobs, and they're divided into sections based on areas they come from. So you've got like unemployed, self-employed, outcast, transportation, religion, military and security, magical arts, hospitality and common labor, health, government and law, education and science, crime, craftsman, communications, arts, and agriculture, animal husbandry, and forestry. And some examples are Master of Hounds, Architect, Clay Mason, Actor, Entrepreneur, Courier, Armourer, Embroiderer, Leatherworker, Furrier, Tinker, Thatcher, Cockfighter and or Game Master, Loan Shark, Rogue, Botanist, Cartographer, Librarian, Dean, Theologian, Duke or Duchess, Squire, Tax Collector, Physician, Kitchen Drudge. That's a mood.
What was that one?
Kitchen Drudge. I think that's like dishwasher.
Oh,
like doing all the necessities in a kitchen.
Like that.
General, jailer, mercenary, sapper, warden, torturer. None.
None. Classic.
Ferryman, first mate, purser, sailor, shipwright, swab. And then in the unemployed section, adventurer.
I love
that. Folk hero, fool, far traveler, refugee, runaway slave, squatter, vagabond.
Nice. Yeah, these all kind of work like backgrounds as well, I guess, for characters.
Yeah. So they originally were going to be jobs with their own skills and flaws, skills, trait, and flaw for the Adventures on a Dime system as like inspiration for people to pick up whatever they want. Because I think that'll be a good resource, especially now that it's going to be on Roll20. I think I might like write that as a thing.
Yeah, well, possibly one to add if you don't already have it is Bouncer.
I think that's like there's the full list.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would go under government and law.
I requested access.
Oh, do you not have the? How dare you?
Well, because I had to pick which account to load it into, so I don't know if it was maybe the wrong.
No. I'm talking about Google being a. I hate Google's lack of sharing links.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird sometimes.
Okay, I've specifically added Fraser Robertson.
Thank you.
Like if I click share this link and anyone with this link can view and access and stuff like that, it will still say, "Oh, but you want to let them in?"
Yeah, that's so weird. Like, yes, just do it, please.
Yeah, like this is. I gave them the link. If they got the link, then they can have it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's like a bagillion.
Yeah, I love it.
Jobs.
Yeah, because I was trying to build the my most recent character, Pleasure, had the background of being a bouncer for a traveling brothel. Kind of ship brothel, but like nothing really fit. So I kind of do like a combination of a few different like backgrounds with kind of crossing like pirate and mercenary kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Quite fun. Yeah, damn, you've got loads here. I love it.
Again, I didn't make this list. I've just been writing in the sort of skills and vibes for it.
Adding in the bits. Excellent. Oh, a beekeeper. Yeah, as you were saying, botanist, they kind of got a good vibe there. Some kind of old forest witch making nettle soup. How do hands work again? Eternal question.
That is something I ask myself every single day.
And arms together.
This is why they're always wearing really loose draped clothing.
Yep.
And then the hands just pop out in the middle of nowhere.
Every time. Every damn time.
Mm-hmm. This is also why I really love streaming with artists. Just hanging out, because it's fun. We just gotta talk about stupid art stuff.
Yep. You know, I'm just gonna do that. I'm like, I can't be bothered figuring out the crease of this arm, so let's just give him a...
Yeah. It's a sketch. It's an idea. It's the illusion.
Yeah. This kind of droopy thing. I'll do. Good enough. There. Oh, that's not high enough. No.
What sort of music? Do you like to use music during roleplay? And if so, what kind of music do you like to do during the game?
So, I don't often like choose the music and stuff. Because we run the ones that we do play through like Discord or like in a pub usually. But the ones we've been playing through Discord is usually like YouTube playlists of like I think like Monster Hunter and like Witcher music and but a lot of the time like game soundtracks. I think some Final Fantasy games. I think. Yeah, we've got a thing that runs through the Discord called Rhythm.
Yeah, I have a friend who uses that.
Yeah, so a lot of the time the DM's just kind of load stuff in. I don't have a huge knowledge of or resource of soundtracks and stuff like that that I wouldn't know off the top of my head. But yeah, it's quite fun to have music. But sometimes I'll just like I don't know what I would choose to play. You know. Yeah, a lot of times it's just some kind of like peaceful background noise, kind of ambient stuff, and then when we get into the battle, it's like okay, Monster Hunter, Final Fantasy, something or another.
Yeah, I asked just because like I obviously like off stream I was playing like Final Fantasy and especially some indie games like the Banner Saga and stuff. But now that I'm kind of going into streaming more officially, I've asked some people for some permission, but some haven't got back to me. Some have. I'm just like, oh, what can I use for music that isn't illegal?
Yes, of course, because yeah, that brings a whole like other thing to the thing, words and stuff. Because remember for ages, like for Critical Role and stuff, they had. I don't know what they used, but they like finally. I remember like one of the streams they're like, okay, we finally got permission to use like Witcher music or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure for streaming stuff. Maybe if there's, I don't know. I don't know what's out there.
And the other thing is, like, I feel like they got that probably because they were voice acting on the game.
Yeah, I think very, very likely. Like, by the way, can we also use this for the thing that we do?
Yeah.
Oh, the sun is blasting through now.
Yeah, I had that problem.
So annoying. And sometimes that like my touch commands like on the iPad just don't respond.
I get that too.
You're pinching to try and zoom and stuff, and you're like, come on, just do the thing.
I get it where I'm dragging a line and then it can stutter like this.
Yeah.
And it gets really confused. Or like I've got to do a line. Exactly like this. Okay, not like this, but like it'll stutter and then it won't let me draw a line, or I'll think I've drawn a line in a separate place. It could be crazy.
Yeah, so weird. But it's just like weird software things. Usually it's like it's maybe the like I've got like a little cleaning cloth. And I just give the like screen a wipe and then like the end of my fingers a wipe because it might just be something like that.
Greasy.
Yeah, well, greasy.
Yeah.
Greasy bits.
I'm gonna order that pizza.
Big reds. A little second away.
Getting that pizza. Where is the app that I'm gonna order it on?
Are you getting it from a large, well-known pizza company, or
No, I'm shopping local.
Oh, good, good, good.
The question is, do I shop? Okay, so sourdough pizza or regular dough pizza?
Instinctively, I would say sourdough because everything sourdough is better.
Okay.
But I also haven't had a sourdough ever or in a while. I don't remember. So, unsure.
I'm just gonna get chips and pizza from the local.
Nice, nice, nice. What kind of pizza is the most important thing, though?
Margarita. I'm a basic.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, I have to spend 80p more to get delivery. I guess I'll just have to get a drink.
Oh no. Or see if there's like a sauce or something. Sometimes that might bump up just enough.
I mean, is 1.5 liters of Fanta a sauce?
I mean, debatably. Yeah, sure, it works.
Something that really irks me is when you order a pizza and they give you like free garlic mayo, and if you want extra garlic mayo and you pay for an extra thing of garlic mayo, they still just give you one garlic mayo.
Yeah.
As if they weren't going to give you that free garlic mayo anyway.
Yep. And then like it doesn't say when you're going to get it or when you're not. So it's just like.
And sometimes you just assume and it just doesn't come, and you're sitting there like Burbo the Fool.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. When do I want this delivered? Whenever. Oh, your iPad has timed out.
Oh, not again.
Not again.
Back.
Place order. 'Tis placed.
Where does it say? Oh, two watching now. That's probably us.
Sorry, what?
Just checking the stream. I was just having a nosy, and it's like, just seeing if anyone's there.
It says we have 2 current viewers, but also I don't know if that's us.
Yeah, because because I've got it open, and I assume you have it open to see the comments.
Well, I have it open. I think we have one other person here with us that isn't us.
Oh. Hello, person. Are you there? Say hello.
It's also valid to not. Like,
Yeah,
there's no pressure. I remember there have been some times where I've been like, oh, audience, throw us some comments. And I've seen like 5 people immediately leave.
Oh, no. Really?
We're like, no, actually come back. You can just look. It's fine. It's fine. We love you.
Yeah. No pressure, but just say hi if you want to. Just let us know who's there.
Or we've been like chatting away, and I said, oh, you know, if you're an animal, what animal would you be? Specifically talk about like Beast Fables and then crickets.
Oh, no. I always get that that question really messes with me because I'm like, what would I be?
Maybe they weren't like silent; they were just having an existential crisis.
That would be my move. I think that would be my power move.
Oh my god! Crisis. I choose you, Fraser. Use existential crisis.
Critical hit on self.
Ah! Fraser hurt itself out of depression.
Oh,
wait, no! Cursed. Absolutely cursed.
Oh, that's rough.
I didn't know it was going to go there. So it did.
Oh, yeah, it did. Right. Hand hacks. Draw the knuckles on a squiggle first and hope for the best. That's my go-to for drawing a hand. It's I know roughly where the knuckles want to be. Draw a little squiggle. And then draw the rest around that.
Yeah, tree hacks. Just make some rough lines and then dots, and do it enough, and then pretend it is indeed foliage.
Yes, foliage.
Foliage. 5G.
Oh my god, that sun is blaring through. You've got sunglasses in the sun.
And to think that only an hour ago you were having a thunderstorm.
I know, literally. Right, I'm gonna just I've got a wee blind that I can put down.
Yeah, I had to close my curtain because it was too much.
Reduce the sun. As much as I love the sunlight. It means that my face is just bleached in the sun. Oh. There we go, that's a bit better. Oh. Little stretch session. Righty.
No. I'm sure you've done that where you got to drop in some color and then the whole canvas is ruined.
Yep, every time. Should I think what to make for dinner tonight?
You should make a takeaway pizza.
That's so good.
I'm doing it because it was my birthday and I'm treating myself.
Absolutely. Rightfully so. We had pizza time recently though, so I'm not feeling that. I made a really good lentil and sweet potato dal, which I've had for
I think I'm going to say lentil and soup pizza, and I thought,
have
fun.
Although I'm very excited because I did buy the stuff to make vegan fish and chips. So there's a little Asian market right around the corner from where I live, and I'd seen a YouTube video by this vegan chef, which I'll never find that anywhere. They had it. It's a banana blossom, so it's the flower that comes from a banana plant. Kind of put in brine, but it's quite flaky like fish when it's cooked. So it's that combined with a layer of nori even, which kind of seaweed to kind of give the seafoody taste, seasoned, etc., and then fried. So I'm gonna give that a shot at some point. Hopefully, or battered and fried. Sorry.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, I've no idea how it's gonna go. I hope it goes well, but we'll just have to see. I just had such a craving for fish and chips the other day, and I was like, no.
Must resist.
Good vegan. I never thought I would be. I never saw myself even going vegetarian like 2 years ago, or like even a year ago, to be honest.
So, what kind of helping factors helped you do that?
Honestly, there's a couple of documentaries. It was the Cowspiracy and Game Changers. Definitely Cowspiracy was like one of them, because it was just like the denial of the environmental effects of the meat and dairy industry, and it was just like the stats, the figures, and like all of that was just like, oh my god, really shocking. Especially like water usage for a lot of things. Like you can save more water, not to be like preachy of veganism, it's totally up to yourself. But it was like like the water consumption for like a single, like, I don't know what measurement of steak, but like a steak. If you didn't eat that, it's the equivalent of like the same amount of water of like showering for like 5 days or something, or like 5 hours or something. And it's just like, well, that's like such a simple exchange to make to save like water. And then the Game Changer one was a lot more about like nutrition, and like everyone's always like, oh, where do you get protein from, and B12 and all this kind of stuff. But it's like a lot of animals are fed B12 or kind of given B12
to increase their produce of that. So ultimately, like, it's not natural for them either.
Yeah, well, yeah, like they take supplements because it's ultimately like B12 comes from the dirt on things, like bacteria in the dirt. But then because of pesticides and things like that, like the animals would consume that, and then we would consume that, and that's where we get it from. And it's the same with like all things, like it all comes from plants anyway, because whatever the animal nutrients the animals are eating is what would be given to us. So it was just very interesting to like look at it from different perspectives, and especially like the water consumption thing was really like, it was just like quite like shocking how much water it takes to produce like a single like a pound of steak or something like that. I can't remember what the measurements were, but yeah, it's worth watching at least. It's quite interesting. And I think being a couple of the colleagues I work with at the cafe are vegan as well, and so obviously we do prepare like a lot of vegan food.
And that's one of the big barrier entries I feel is cooking, like knowing how to process all of this stuff and do it well.
Absolutely. I mean, even just like trying like a couple of vegan meals, or even like one a week, and just like finding some things that do work, or simple exchanges for stuff.
My friends Abby and Lily have a great zine. Well, first of all, they wrote a book called Gears Quiz / are called Gears of Quiz on Instagram, but they wrote a series of zines called, I think it's like The Wild Vegan or Wild Vegans, and it's a bunch of vegan recipes that you can do on a cycle tour.
Oh, that's so fun.
So it's like simple vegan food with like that are very easily to like replace elements in case you can't find it in a random German supermarket.
Yeah, that's so fair. That's very cool. Yeah, I think I found like I watch a lot of cooking videos just like anyway. I feel like I kind of learned a lot from that about kind of how to cook, and then just like exchanging some things and being like a little bit more experimental, but mostly it's just for like the actual substance or the texture of things. And the flavor stuff kind of comes usually from whatever like combination of spices or like vinegars and stuff like that you use. So it kind of does become a little bit like you can kind of quite often just like throw things together. If you know roughly what tastes nice in other things, you can kind of assume what else might taste nice with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a learning curve for sure, and just like trying a couple of things and like making a couple of small changes is better than not doing anything at all. But if you were ever interested in like trying, because it is quite hard, especially like to feel guilty like and trying to like change your diet for whatever reason. It's quite easy to feel guilty about like going back to something or that's what I'm looking for. like cheating or caving and under the pressure or anything like that. But
Yeah.
it's quite fun. I quite like it as more of like a challenge for myself. It's kind of how I view it. Like in cooking, that way is it's like a kind of creative challenge.
I get a Mindful Chef food box delivered because I'm really bad at shopping. That's the thing that I really struggle with, is making sure that I have like the right ingredients in the house.
Yes.
And so like everything's packaged, and you get all the ingredients in specific boxes for meals. And it has its flaws. Like definitely, if you do not cook it that week, it is off unless it's canned and dry goods.
Yes, very fair.
But specifically for me, I find that does help keep me, air quotes, on my shit. Because then I have to cook and I have to, eat healthily.
Something sets in a like routine with that. Like if you don't use it, it's going to go off, and then you can't use it, and then you wasted money or whatever. Like it's
like if that causes you anxiety, then don't feel like, oh well, it's I should do this, because like obviously you should take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of these things are just like whatever works for you, like whatever you can do is enough.
I am also very aware that like these like HelloFresh, Mindful Chef, they are very very white middle class, like in the way they market themselves and in their audiences. I get like a recipe book with it every week, and it's like, oh, little Jack and Jill from the nuclear family helped Mummy with the cooking by stirring a bowl. Wow, isn't Jack breaking gender norms? Like, oh god.
Yeah, oh dear.
Like, just stop, leave, just give me the food and go.
Yeah, just give me the big gay cookbook and leave. Like, that's what I want. Okay, I'm just laughing around there. What am I doing?
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Where you go over a sketch and you go over it again and again and again, and you're like, look, you're not progressing. You just need to
just
suck it up and do line work.
Yeah. Right. Maybe I will give this person. I'm kind of thinking like some sort of like bear pelt, but I also don't want to draw a big like dead bear head. But I kind of do, I don't know if that's.
Why don't you want to draw it?
I don't know.
Because if it's laziness, valid. If it's you don't want to draw a big old dead bear, then it could be another creature.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's laziness or if I'm just like.
Or equally, like it could be not a dead bear; it could be like a carving.
Yeah, it's like
so like a wooden bear helmet or something.
I guess I just don't want to be like, oh, animal cruelty, but it's not animal cruelty because it's like a different time and setting and such.
Something else is that like animal cruelty is a different context. Animal cruelty is the purposely going out of your way to hurt animals, not because you need to, but because you can.
Yeah.
And a hunter-gatherer society is essentially a very different way of living to a modern sense. We had a really interesting conversation about animals who eat animals and animal cruelty on the Beast Fables world building between myself, Atlanta, and Ver. The idea of how do you have a society where there are predators that are larger than you that could and do eat you?
Yeah.
Like how do animals deal with that? Because we're thinking like justice and courts. Like how you can't give an eagle a summons for murder because it's an eagle. It's just gonna be like, no.
Yeah, like you can try.
Yeah, and so it was interesting looking at necessity in eating and the need for these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Versus like how it how different ways of interpreting it that are useful.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like this isn't like too.
It's like a bear head is fine, but also. It's like not everyone gets a bear head because bears are actually really, really difficult to deal with.
Yes.
Or alternatively, you can have variations of that. Like it's a bear, but it was their mother who was turned into a bear by a curse and died, and now it's like an ancestral, like thing.
Yeah, for sure. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, this is looking fine. Like I said, I wanted to make it like, again, proportion. Make sure it's not like a cub. That's kind of gross.
That's something actually fun. Proportion. Maybe it's not a bear head. Maybe this is a halfling and it's actually like a dog.
Oh my god.
But the dog, or like a wolf, but it's the size of a bear on them. You know?
Yeah. Imagine like tiny little like. Yeah, that's fun. Kind of unintentionally given this person, not intentionally another mullet, but like a Crystal Method mullet, where it could just be curly hair. However,
Oh god. I mean, Eldebarge.
Aldebarge, please don't.
How long are they on Drag Race for? Like, how long is the actual filming of the show? Do you
Right,
know?
yeah. So I don't know completely. My partner did uncover, or like not uncover, like it's not like
Uncover the scoop.
it's not like a PI. Managed to, or like no, what am I even saying? Not managed to. It's not fucking conspiracy. Um, I've like seen some videos and
Mm.
like YouTube videos of like the behind the scenes stuff, like what you see happening or don't see happening.
Mm.
There was all that drama of whatever season it was with Willem,
Ugh.
uh,
Yeah.
who like snuck their partner or boyfriend or something into the hotel rooms and then was disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
But then like the living conditions were you were like trapped in a hotel room, you couldn't leave, you couldn't go to like outside the set or anything like for however long it was.
Yeah. And they talk about like, oh, another week, another challenge, and I'm like, you're there for weeks.
Exactly, and it's like I don't think so. So I don't know like how consciously do they have to? Do they like dub over? They
Yeah.
say, or is it like do they like, oh we're here yesterday? I feel like there's like a day break in between maybe.
Yeah. I feel also like keeping people around for weeks is not viable, like
No,
economically.
no, absolutely not. But then there is also stuff of like some of the seasons of like All Stars were some of the queens were like still under contract from the seasons that they were just on, and so
Wow.
it's technically cheaper to have them appear because they don't have to pay them twice. Because like it either extended it for like a year, it was like your persona or your in the season or you're being paid for like this year of use of your face. I don't know how it's all structured, but
Yeah.
like whatever they signed, like they could technically get them to sign up for another season without having to pay them for it.
Wow. I could believe it.
Yeah, a little bit shady. I think it was the which All Stars was it? The one with Monet and All Stars 4, Monet and Monique.
They both won. No, not Monique. Well, yeah, I like it was Monet and Trinity. They both won,
Yeah.
which it felt weird. Not bad, but just like, oh, okay.
It was a bit weird. I think there was some kind of odd like
reaction.
Yeah, because the winners were obviously it was a very non-melanated winners hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a kind of there was a lot of weird circumstances with that season. But I think that was especially like the two of them had just come off their season onto that one. Oh, my thing is not working again. So yeah, I think it was for them as well. Like they were like not necessarily getting paid for another season because it was still in the contract because it was like right off the bat. Like they literally just finished and then we're straight into All Stars.
That is.
Yeah, a little bit sketch. Right, I might have to. Like, touch isn't working this at all. Let's try again. There we go. Can you just like close the app sometimes?
Yeah, like it just gets overloaded. There's too much information. It just goes, I'm good.
Yeah. And that, my dear, is mood.
Right.
Okay. I'm enjoying this character more now. Because my little spear. Bear pelt helps.
I've done a really classic issue where I've changed the brush size, and now when you zoom out, everything looks weird.
No, I hate that so much. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. You can't set a specific size of brush in Procreate. Like it's just like the little dial. That really annoys me sometimes.
Like, it'd be good to know the number.
Yes, or if it could like click, like if it could like kind of snap almost to like every
Like,
five.
you can bookmark a size
Yes.
in the same way that you could say in Photoshop.
Yeah.
This just means that like I have to. I'm working in lots of different layers, which is good because it means I can just go back over and redraw. But it changes the scale of like what kind of marks I'm making and how that shows up.
Yes, it's very irritating. Okay, how are we feeling about with this kind of Scottish setting of stuff? Obviously, we don't want kilts on everyone, but
Well, like the vibe with Scottish, in my understanding, is that like it's fabric, it's draped fabric for like ease and for moving about and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
that's
not
true.
everyone's going to be in kilts. That is not the way.
Although I do love a kilt. This is a fact that is known.
I think you could challenge norms by having a women in kilt if you don't already.
Yeah, I think I was just about to do that, or some. Yeah,
Because
I'm
my
kind of.
sister, she wears kilts to events and like weddings and things like that.
What was that? Sorry.
My sister wears kilts to events
Oh,
and weddings and
I love
ceremonies.
that. I
She's a blacksmith. She's like a bajillion times cooler than I am.
love that. That sounds really cool. I like that. I know. I like part of me regretted not wearing a kilt to my graduation, but at the same time, I had a banging suit, so like.
I mean, do your thing. Ultimately, kilts are for people to do to feel their vibes. Like, if there was like an equivalent English thing, I wouldn't
Mhm.
wear one because I don't feel like national pride in that way.
That's fair. Very fair.
Um,
I've also just realized that I've unintentionally made like Merida kind of grown up and a bit more badass, like Bear Hunter Merida.
I mean, who doesn't like that?
This is very true.
Ugh, I am feeling anxiety over when this pizza's going to arrive. I feel like when the pizza gets here, that's probably going to be the end of the stream.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Because it's like 7:20 right now. So we've been going for like 2 hours.
That's fine. That works. Good for like a cool sword as well. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I've actually got to cook. I have like sweet potato, a couple of mushrooms left.
How big? The
Oh, the mushroom
mushrooms.
sweet potato.
The mushrooms.
Oh, they're like little chestnut mushrooms. Those
Hmm.
are like a handful, like a small portion.
You could do like loaded sweet potatoes.
I was thinking that, yeah, I might do like a little load of sweet potato. I've got some like, or no, I had some like spaghetti for lunch. We'll see. It's one of those things you kind of have to like just look at the fridge and just like hope it speaks to me. Tell me what I make with you. Okay, I'm feeling that. That's fun. That's fun. Right, this old lady needs some work. I feel. Um, Go back to the mullet work for a little bit. your favorite?
Mullet hawk or mullet orc?
Both. A hawk with a mullet. That is a statement.
I don't know why, but that little bit of scat has now just got Steven Universe stuck in my head.
What? Sorry.
That like do 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 do, you know?
Oh no! Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
exactly what you mean.
it's got like the end song from the original season, which is not bad. I like it, but yeah, I have to resist just belting.
Feel free. I won't complain. Battle axe. I read a very interesting thing, or read. Did I read it or did I watch it? I think I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube video about like pacing.
Ooh, in stories.
In drawing. And it was like, you know how sometimes it was kind of best described as like, you know, sometimes you're like picking up the pencil and you start drawing and things just like don't feel like they're going right. Like you're drawing and it just feels like off.
Yeah.
It tends to be like the pacing of like the way that you're drawing, like you're either rushing it too much or like instead of taking your time and drawing a line and thinking about it, you're kind of just like scratching and like not really thinking about it. And it's like that kind of pacing of how the pace that you're actually drawing the shapes and like the feeling of things of like how that can really throw you off. And if you kind of notice that that's what's going on, if you just kind of like slow down and just like take a second, because I do that all the time. I notice that I'm like racing through and like scratching and like, oh, this isn't working. Like, what's going on? It's very interesting. It was a good.
It's like self-induced panic.
Yeah, I don't think I actually finished the video. I got sidetracked, but I'm sure it probably does go on to talk more about some other bits and bobs like that. It's quite useful.
I think this month's map is going to be a little bit more. Like I like to feel like they're really finished and worked on and polished, but I think I'm going to keep it sketchier because this is where it's at right now.
Yeah, I really like it. I think you've got really good. Like you've definitely got the colors there. I know that you're kind of not like worried about them, but.
And then I think I was thinking of like highlighting them with, so like
vines that you've done, or like the kind of like the vines at the bottom.
So all of like these rocks were going to be this lighter color.
Where?
And then like the trees were going to have like leaves that were like this sort of like lighter shade, like this. This is just like quick scribbles.
Yeah. Where are the rocks? I can't see where you drew the rock.
Oh, so like the stones, like the everything outlined in blue will have like the yellow.
Yeah. Okay.
Like this.
Yeah.
I feel no. I'm looking at it and it's confusing it with the road.
Yeah, I think if you change it to a slightly off, like a kind of more orange, so move the kind of hue up to kind of orangey, and then a kind of grayed out orange, or a desaturated orange. Yeah, somewhere in the kind of grey orange, perhaps. Or even a kind of like tealy grey, like grey blue.
I was thinking like a light blue as well.
Yeah.
Like this is the blue I'm using, so if I just make it much lighter.
The highlights on the leaves that you drew, I think, would confuse it a lot because the contrast and the values overall would be kind of mixed.
Oh, this is I'm just like I only have a limited number of layers, so I'm being really lazy. Where are those leaves?
As well.
Like they're there. So if I have, I could do another layer. Yeah, it would be like here, so it'd be over the top of them. kind of coming
Oh,
through.
on the top of the hill. Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
and it would be over the top of these other textures, except like the it's being dumb because I did all the lines on the same layer because I'm dumb. So yeah.
Yes. No, I like that. Yeah, I thought you mean like it would be highlights on the trees behind it, but no, I like
No.
that a lot for it kind of set like leads the eye.
Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of that draft and then.
Yeah, if you do that for the trees, that kind of quite like saturated blue, and then make it slightly more grayed and a bit darker for the stones. Kind of like actually kind of like the color I've got on at the moment. If I draw like a blob.
Oh, that's my pizza. Hang on.
BRB.
I have a pizza. Pizza.
Lovely.
All right. What was that color you were going to show me? Sorry.
I was just thinking for the rocks, if you make it a kind of grey blue, maybe a little lighter, kind of. Help me. Just that kind of hiding.
Okay, more tealy. Sort of like this. Hang on.
Like for the rocks, sorry. Like a bit, yeah, maybe a little bit darker to kind of.
Hang on, I have to do another layer here. Yeah. So like there's this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big chunk of where the rocks would go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely go a bit darker. Yeah, that's getting closer. Yeah. I think that's nice. Yeah, because like if the blue is too bright, it would like contrast too much with the greens. Like confuse the eye a lot. So you kind of want it to be darker to like kind of blend in with the same values of the grasses. Art science, y'all.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Yeah, because I do really like the kind of yellowy, browny kind of stone that you sometimes see. But I just can't like find a good color. Like my eyes just can't find a good color that doesn't blend in with the green.
Because that's the thing is like I don't want them. This is the other thing I do when like I go to drag a color instead I get it wrong and I just draw a big old line across my canvas.
A classic move.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything that necessarily sits easily on the page against the other greens. Because I don't want them all necessarily being a similar like grayscale tone, if that makes sense. Because then they won't pick out. Like it'll just be like one big like similar level mess, as opposed to having like a dark bit, a medium bit, a light bit. But yeah, I think. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, kind of leading the eye with the light. Yeah, that looks really nice.
And then I can have this darker teal. This isn't actually me playing, but I can have this darker teal coming in instead for the swirling.
Yeah, that helps kind of neutralize it being so bright, I think. Yeah, I really like that.
And I can do a slightly grayer, darker to like give shadow to the rock.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe a little bit lighter than that.
If they're all that like light color, it kind of it's a bit too bright. So yeah, having like a bit of shadow on it will help kind of break up some. Very nice, very nice.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to end the stream there.
Yeah.
Because I have a pizza to eat and it is gorge. But yeah, this has been fantastic. I think we've done some really, really great stuff. So this is what I did with the map. But let's see what you did. Let's just go look at your characters.
Yeah. What we start? Well, this was the initial sketch, just your standard kilted shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
Jewelry going on. Could definitely use some work, for sure. Play with it some more. I love this little angry guy.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly the favorite. He just looks like he's just going to start a bar fight at any time.
Mm-hmm. And he's happy about it as well.
Oh, he's loving it. He absolutely loves it. He's got like little like what the equivalent of ripped jean shorts would be.
Oh my god, jorts.
Short, but like yeah, ATV or you see what I'm talking about. Mullet arc classic.
Mm-hmm.
I love these two at the bottom. Sorry, my zoom is not working very well. Yeah, I'm imagining some kind of like making like little metal potions.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, bald. I actually really like it. That's a lovely choice.
What was that? Sorry.
The bald herbalist.
Yeah, I thought it was quite fun. I don't know if I want to do some like kind of floral tattoos maybe on the side.
Maybe like some vines or that could be interesting. Just because like she has that sort of mad tea reading vibe, but they normally have really big poofy hair, and I like that it's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's usually kind of like that kind of thing, kind of Trelawney-esque hair. But
Trelawney, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I love this girl. She's doing great. And yeah, like the little lady. Definitely gonna work on her some more. There's something about I want that kind of shape, that kind of silhouette. Doing
this has immediately reminded me of like the Patrick Nails big juicy lip like meme with the hands like this.
Oh Jesus! Yeah. Yeah. Give her the fucking like talons and like the hoops. There we go. There she is, baby.
Oh, she has arrived.
She's gonna get some like beautiful like eyeshadow.
Oh yeah.
She's a bad bitch and she knows it.
She's the fighter that can beat for the gods.
Oh. She's defeated the gods. They're all dead. Beaten dead.
Oh, well. Yeah. This has been a really lovely stream. Thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you people who commented live and joined in, and also people who are watching later on. You can watch all of this back pretty much straight away as well.
Yeah.
I'm Brian. I run Dungeons on a Dime. I have a Patreon where I do like this monthly location maps and combat maps and 5th edition classes. I have a live show that is pretty much, we've done the prologue, we're now starting first actual chapter on Wednesday of next week, 12:30 British summertime, called Beast Fables with 2 other illustrators, which is really cool. And I do a bunch of entry-level role-playing adventures at doad.co.uk. Joining me today was Fraser. Please reintroduce yourself.
Hello, I am Fraser Robertson. I often go by Lost Astronaut on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, I guess. Yeah, I'm a freelance illustrator. I've worked with Brian on a few editions of Dungeons on a Dime and the recent Quest Adventures or Dungeons on a Dime, Adventures on a Dime?
Dungeons on a Dime quests is the line. Yes. This is why I need a line. I'm thinking that I'm just going to call them quests, like they're the quests.
Yeah, the Kickstarter. I'm a freelancer. I do character commissions and fun things like that. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, as you can see in the tag in the middle there, at Lost Astronaut. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, well, thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you have a lovely day and stay safe. And we will catch you next Wednesday and next Saturday for more Beast Fables and Working on a Dime. See ya.
Bye.
always have that slightly